Morning routines are becoming extreme. Waking up at 3 AM, doing crazy workouts, and crying in the shower are all part of these ridiculous morning routines. But do they actually work? My morning routine needs some upgrading, so for the next 5 days, I am gonna try the most extreme morning routines to see if these influencers are really onto something, or if these morning routines ruin my life. It is currently 6:44 in the morning, and I have woken up to do the first morning routine of this video, the Patrick Bateman morning routine. That's a smile on my face. For a bit of backstory on my morning routine, it's pretty simple. All I do is wake up, meditate for like 10 minutes, journal, and then make my bed. That's the whole thing. But recently, I've been slacking on my morning routine, and I've just been getting out of bed and just leaving my bed unmade and just getting up and going and not meditating. And I realized, like, I need to get my shit back together. So hopefully, Patrick Bateman can help me with that. After waking up at the earliest time a teenager has ever woken up on a non-school day, I began starting the Patrick Bateman morning routine. The movie American Psycho uncovered the character of Patrick Bateman, who is, if you haven't guessed by the title, actually a really lovely bloke. Just kidding, you egg. He's actually an American Psycho, believe it or not. Luckily, this is the easiest morning routine on this whole list. They do get a lot tougher as the week goes on. So, super excited about that. So he wakes up at about 6:30 to 7, which is what I've done. But now I gotta go to the bathroom. Okay, now it's the moment I've been dreading for. Patrick Bateman does 1,000 crunches. Are you serious? The first thing on my must-do list after stretching is to do 1,000 crunches. It's almost like the morning routine I'm doing comes from a fictional character, because this is Psycho. So it is 7:30. Don't ask about my wallpaper. And it's time for me to do 1,000 crunches. 2. Oh my god. That's only 40. Holy shit. Oh. Dude, how the hell does Patrick Bateman do 1,000 of these things in the morning? I just did 50 and I'm like dying. But with the power of editing, 1,000. Okay, maybe with the magic of editing, I didn't actually do 1,000 sit-ups. Or crunches, or whatever they're called. I did about 150, and then I decided, holy shit, this is gonna take me the whole day. There's another thing with these morning routines. They end up taking, like, legit most of the day to get done, which is not a morning routine. So yeah, I forfeit on the sit-ups, on the crunchies. I'm not as talented as Patrick Bateman. I can't do 1,000 yet. 1,000 crunches later, it was time for my shower, and just like the original American Psycho movie, I would like to do an interpretation of Bateman's internal monologue. In the shower, I use a water-activated gel cleanser, then a honey almond body scrub, and on the face, an exfoliating gel scrub. Then apply an herb mint facial mask, which I leave on for 10 minutes while I prepare the rest of my routine. There is an idea of Patrick Bateman, some kind of abstraction, but there is no real me, only an entity, something illusionary. And though I can hide my cold gaze and you can shake my hand and feel flesh gripping yours, and maybe you can even sense our lifestyles are probably comparable, I simply am not there. Now that every alpha male has creamed their pants, I had officially finished Patrick Bateman's morning routine, and now that American Psycho is over 25 years old, you can confidently say that this is the first influencer morning routine. I thought I'd throw out a little fun fact for you. It was actually really easy, apart from the crunches. Although it's very meticulous and today seen as a normal, non-satirical morning routine for men who think their true calling is harassing women on Reddit. So now that I've finally finished Patrick Bateman's morning routine at about 8:25 in the morning, it's time for me to go on with the rest of my day. But there is still one secret task that I haven't completed. And for that, I'm gonna need to get in my I went to see Mickey 17 with my granddad. I just wish someone told me that there were sex scenes in this movie. Out of 5 stars, Patrick Bateman's morning routine gets a 4.3 out of 5, with the only caveat being the stretching. I just didn't like the stretching. Good morning. It is 5:15 in the morning, and I am so tired. Now, the reason why it is now Monday and not a Tuesday like the day I should have been doing this morning routine is because after that first morning routine, I got sick. So I was literally sick until probably yesterday, where I think I got over it. I hope so. Let's see what's on the schedule today. The morning routine that my poor soul partook in is from a very serious YouTube video titled Scientific Daily Routine Every Man Should Do, Maximum Productivity. And I want to make fun of it.
Any man can reach the top 1%, but it takes the right scientific daily routine to get there.
Okay, dude. First of all, the voice. I could be wrong, but I don't think this is Corpse Husband's secret channel. If this is what he's been doing for the last few years, that's hilarious. Nope, this channel is called Far From Weak, and they have over 1 million subscribers because, of course they do, and they strive to give young men masculine advice. Where have I heard this before? I'm pretty much certain that they're using a AI voice generator with set to a deep masculine voice and then just like typing text into it. Or this is Corpse Husband. You know, I'm actually giving them too much credit. They also used AI to write this video. Allegedly. The first step of this morning routine is to...
Step 1. Wake up early.
So that's what I did. Okay, so it is currently 5:26 right about now, and I have to do 2 hours of morning work. Usually in the morning I wake up, eat breakfast, shit, but apparently you can't shit in these morning routines because that's not alpha, so I'm just gonna have to hold it 2 hours starting now. Okay, maybe I was playing Snake the whole time. As I worked on my YouTube videos, the sun blossomed over the horizon, and actually, I gotta say, this is my favorite part and the only good thing about waking up at 5 in the morning. After finishing 2 hours of really straining, ruthless, and intense work, I got dressed, brushed my teeth, washed my face, and then I was ready for the next task on my to-do list. For alphas only. Okay, so I just got back from the gym and I just had a shower, and to be honest, I feel amazing. I actually feel really good. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just getting everything done. I usually do try to get everything done in the morning to just get it out the way, and then, you know, you have the rest of the day to kind of do the less hard stuff because you don't have to worry about the stuff you hate. For everyone, that's not possible, but for me it is, like, thanks to my parents letting me take a gap year this year because I begged them. Not really. I made a Google Slides presentation and I got in a suit and tie and was like, guys, please, I really want this. But one of the main reasons I wanted a gap year, because I went to uni last year, I just wanted to focus on my YouTube channel. And I really wanted this year to be like me going all in, all out, just making some of the best art, some of the best stuff I can for myself and for you. I mean, YouTube's been my dream job since I was 11 years old, and I would do a lot of crazy shit, as you can tell, to make this happen. So yeah, like and subscribe because that helps me out a shit ton. And I just really appreciate all the feedback and all the positive support I've been getting recently. So yeah, keep watching, keep tuning in because this year is going to be wild. I do have a few things next on my list, but oh my god, let me just tell you, I am so hungry. Like, I normally get up and eat, like that's the first thing I do. So this is hard. I do have to make sure that my blood be flowing though. That is the next point. Some reason that guy, or that AI generated guy in the video said,
in order for your brain to work optimally, your blood needs to keep flowing. So move.
Then I did 10 minutes of meditation, and I think, like I said in the video, meditation is something I actually do, which is a part of my morning routine, and it's just because I love the way it feels, and even if you don't actually think anything's happening, you always feel a little bit better after you do it. If nothing else, you experience this moment of bliss and peace every morning after you slowly open your eyes and get ready for the day. Okay, let's just pretend he's not there. Now, with that, the only thing I will say is that it's 10:40 friggin' 8 and I haven't had any food. Most people morning routine, they friggin' gotta go to work at 9 o'clock, so this isn't a very realistic one. You might have to push it back. Maybe wake up at 4 if you, but that's fucking horrible. I know this is like the alpha male morning routine, but it's not officially the alpha male morning routine because the real one consists of waking up at a full moon and then howling at the moon. I thought that would be a lot funnier. Okay, so what's next on the morning routine? Guy who's using an AI generated voice because he's insecure about how he sounds?
Step 4. Nourish yourself.
Oh, thank God. Alrighty, so lunch is ready. I have hummus, and I'm gonna dip that in these seaweed crackers. And I also have a mandarin, I have a banana, and I have an apple. And then we have one of these lovely little pear and chocolate muffins my mum made, because she's the goat. Then we got some maple bacon chips. They're the best flavor. Do not battle me, because you will lose. And over here, I toasted in the toasty machine, which is like the best thing on this planet. Chicken, tomatoes, some of that sweet chili sauce. That is, to me, a big meal. It's got all the different kind of proteins and fats and good fats and whatever. I'm not a friggin' nerd. I am so hungry right now, so I'm just gonna eat this. I don't like people watching me eat, so sorry about that. Okay, it's 12:22 because that food took me a while to digest. So the final thing that I need to do today for my alpha male morning routine is write 2 non-negotiables. Non-negotiable number 1, I am going to wake up. If I don't wake up tomorrow, I won't be too happy with myself. And number 2, become the rock. Oh no. Out of 5 stars, the official and only alpha male morning routine will be getting a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Maybe I'm more alpha than I thought. It's 3:39 in the morning. Why does The Rock wake up at 3:39 in the morning? I thought this was going to be the worst morning routine, but I remembered what I'm doing on Friday, and then I realized actually it can't get worse than that. It's so stupid. I went to bed at like 7:30 last night. I actually don't feel as like shocked to the system. Maybe it's because I did get a decent amount of sleep. Now, The Rock's morning routine is quite simple. There's like 5 things on the to-do list, but those things are pretty extreme. So 3:30 he wakes up, which is, I just kind of took a while to get my body to want to move. Then at 3:40, I'm a bit late, it's 3:42 right now, he does the unthinkable. So I think it's time for me to get ready for that. I know The Rock hasn't specified this as a part of his morning routine, but before I do what I'm about to do, I think I need a fucking coffee. Who in their actual right mind wakes up at 3:40 in the morning? You end up having to go to bed at like 7 o'clock, and it's lame. I'm sorry if anyone else goes to bed at 7 o'clock, but it's kind of lame. People now, they tell you like, oh dude, what time you go to bed? Oh, I go to bed at 2 in the morning. Ha, I win. And you're like, no. Why are you up that late? That's not something to be proud of. It's actually kind of sad. After waking up at 3:30 in the morning, like a true American psycho, The Rock does something that is absolutely diabolical, and I wouldn't wish this upon my very worst enemy. And that's the first thing The Rock does after waking up at 3:30 in the morning is go on a 30-minute long run. I'm never watching the hit movie Planet 51 starring WWE wrestler turned Hollywood actor The Rock ever again. Oh my god. I got 17 minutes, but I didn't bring a bottle of water, and I'm absolutely dying. Holy shit. Ten minutes. Oh my god. It is 5:02 in the morning, and I've just finished doing one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life. I'm not exaggerating. That was seriously one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do. I'm not good at running. I have asthma, as you can tell. And I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna pass out. I have an asthma attack. Even though it was only half an hour, I was like, oh my god. As soon as I started, I was like, how the fuck am I gonna do this? But you know what The Rock always said? Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours. So that's what I did. Also, The Rock, I think he does this because like he's so famous and he doesn't want people to recognize him like running in the day. So he's like, fuck it, I'll do it at 2 in the morning instead. And he's probably not scared. He's got the biggest guns I've ever seen. It's got to be the hardest thing I'm going to have to do this week. That run felt like it was going to kill me. Just look at me after I got home. I look like Voldemort. I'll give it a sec. Once I gave it a little bit more than a sec, I was pleasantly surprised to see that the next thing on The Rock's morning routine was to get a little bit of drive and a little bit of power back by eating some scrumptious food. It is now 6:57. It's about 7 in the morning, and it's been a while since I last checked in, just because I had to eat the food, digest the food, and then find the motivation to not fall asleep. This next task I have to do is it needs a lot of motivation, let's just say that. But I think I'm just absolutely shattered from waking up that early and going on that run. Like, I'm not being overdramatic. I might be being overdramatic. I just feel a bit like done. And it's only 7 in the morning. Where's my drive and my power? It's no matter. I'm just gonna have to keep going because that's all I know how to do. It's time to do my next task. And that, my friends, is a rock-themed workout. The Rock's daily workout, which I found on a sketchy article on the second page of Google, consists of 4 sets of 12 wide grip lat pull downs, 4 sets of 12 barbell rows, 3 sets of 10 deadlifts, 3 sets of pull-ups, which I just read as 3 pull-ups, so whoopsie, and 4 sets of 12 dumbbell shrugs. So after the morning run and this, I was absolutely knackered. Okay, I finished my workout. It was exhausting, but I did it. I did everything labeled in The Rock's morning routine as workout, except for one final thing. Let's just say The Rock is a sick man. Let's just get this over with, because it's time for a cold shower. And with that, I just want to say this is an absolute 1-star morning routine. And The Rock, if you're watching this, I'm not even going to watch your next movie. How about that? Jumanji 6? Not going to watch it. I think I'm actually genuinely going to go to bed. I'm just going to go to bed. So I'll see you tomorrow. It is 7:07. I'm actually a minute early to this morning routine, which is pretty crazy. And the morning routine that I will be doing is the Bryan Johnson morning routine. I was so messed up yesterday after doing The Rock's morning routine that I decided I'm gonna take a day off from these morning routines. So yesterday I just didn't do anything. I think I watched a Minecraft movie, that was about it. Now, if you don't know who Bryan Johnson is, you're probably gonna live a very wonderful life, but I'm about to ruin that. Bryan Johnson's motto is don't die. He even has his own Netflix documentary about it, which I will never watch. In a nutshell, Bryan is an anti-aging millionaire who dedicated his whole life to wanting to live forever, which, just so you know, is impossible. There's no totem of undying in real life, but if there was, Bryan Johnson would be searching through the ends of the earth in order to find that shit. Here's a very long list of some of the strange things that he's done. A New York Times article states that he divorced his wife, with whom he had 3 children, and left the Mormon church. He hired prostitutes, according to friends, former employees, and court documents, and took drugs including acid, ibogaine, and DMT, which, holy friggin' crap, is wild. He runs a company called Blume, which specializes in anti-aging products, and at this company, he would frequently walk around with little clothing on, and sometimes flirted with Blume's largely female staff. Just imagine you're working and you turn your head to see your boss's junk right up in your face. Like, dude, that's so gross. When the New York Times reporter who made the article asked him some questions, he responded with the most disturbing but also hilarious sentence I will ever read. I post nudes on social media. Why did my voice go like that? I turn into Bryan Johnson. I post nudes on social media. I track my nighttime erections. Bro. The fuck? What an amazing sleep. Oh, and that dream about my female co-workers was great. Let me just check my sleep stats, and yeah, my boner lasted 8 hours.
Join Blueprint today!
You may only apply for an application to the Blueprint Company if you're a female who has a banging frickin' bod, massive bazonkas, and wouldn't mind stepping on my balls to generate blood flow, which would in turn generate more youthful balls and expand my lifespan 15 years. Also, if my freak kids are watching this, I am so happy that I left your mother because these prostitutes are hella legit, brownie!
He then continues to say, and brace yourself, my team openly discusses my semen health. We make dank memes. Rather than letting people walk in blind, we disclose this up front in writing so there are no surprises. This guy legitimately gives me the heebie-jeebies. One last thing, and I promise this one is the most deranged. Bryan asked his 18-year-old son at the time if he could use his son's blood for a plasma transfusion to theoretically reverse his age. I just threw up in my mouth. His son agreed, and he injected his son's blood into his body to get the body of an 18-year-old. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? This is a literal thumbnail from an interview with him. Like, look at the text. Read the text. That's disgusting. And here's another one Curtis Connor saw.
But honestly, I don't know why I'm getting so hung up on this guy. Like, who even cares what this guy has to say anyway? He doesn't even have the erection of an 18-year-old.
So with all that said, it's time to do his morning routine.
I try to meditate every day, morning and night, even if it's just for a few minutes. I try to transport myself in time, so I'm present. I always use the 25th century in my mind, like a few hundred years. And I try to imagine being present there, and I'm looking back at this time and place.
After meditating, it was time to check my nightly my sleep score. So my sleep score has been documented, and I'm about to show you the results. At 10:33 at night, I went to bed. As you can see, I was drifting off into a lovely sleep until about 4:12 in the morning. At that point, I woke up. I don't know why, but I just woke up. And then for a little bit, I was awake, and then boom, back to sleep at 4:30 in the morning. So then I kept, drifting off, and then eventually I woke up at about 7:02. Even before my alarm went off. Before that calculated, I would say I get a sleep score of around 7.5.
I'll just do this as part of my routine. So I'll get this 10,000 lux light and then take my inner ear temp.
So he puts on just like a light, which is perfect because I just have one set up here. And then he checks like the inner ear temperature of his ear with some remote, which I do not have. And frankly, I'm not gonna buy.
173.8.
Is that normal?
BMI, yeah, 23. Fat, 10%. Muscle, 86.2%. Visceral fat, 2.1.
So then he weighs himself, and he has stated before that he weighs himself every single day. Anyone who weighs himself every day is 100% a robot. New world record. I hope that worked. Another superhuman, or most likely super psycho thing that Bryan does is take his morning pills. Now, a normal person in the morning would take anywhere from roughly 0 to 5 or more pills. That's not the case with Bryan.
Yeah, I used to take, at one point, I think it was like 111 pills was the max.
I knew he was a robot. He's stated that he's taken over 100 pills every morning. Do you know how insane that is? Actually incredibly bad. I just don't think that's good for you. But he also has some protein powder, so I decided to make a vanilla protein shake with some protein powder and some milk. So here is my pills for the day. It's just a hay fever tablet. Let's go crazy, crazy, crazy till we see. Do you remember that song? That was a good song. So now that I've taken my supplements for the morning, I need to only be drinking filtered water. So then I took my pill, and then it was time to make my first meal of the day. I just made an absolutely vile concoction called nutty pudding. There's no nuts involved in it, so I don't know why it's called nutty pudding. The only thing I can assume is because the guy who made it is just completely fucking nutty. Here it is in all its glory. It's some berries. I added some oats just to make it look a little nicer. Olive oil and milk. It shouldn't be that bad. Bon appetit. Oh my god. I almost just fucking threw up. Holy shit. Dude, I almost actually threw up. Maybe it was just my body went into pure shock just from eating this nutty pudding. Let's just say it wasn't the tastiest meal I've ever had. For some reason, I almost threw up, and I think it was like the olive oil that did it to me, because usually I don't have olive oil with cereal, which it just kind of threw me off. Or maybe it was that thumbnail I pictured in my mind. Yeah, let's just go with that. So I'm gonna let this digest, and then I'll see you very soon. Okay, so it is time for a workout, and I have just put on the TV the Bryan Johnson workout routine. So I'm just gonna do this at home because I thought it'd be a bit embarrassing at the gym if I was doing this workout. I don't want nobody to know I'm doing this, okay? You gotta keep it on the down low. But yeah, he has about 20 different exercises, so the workout was fine. There was a lot of stretches, which look, I can do this all day, like the Patrick Bateman morning routine, but bringing it, so he goes like this, and then fucking, okay, actually I can do it. I can do it. Oh. Which was different for me because I don't usually stretch as much as Bryan did in his workout. Especially some of those stretches, they were like nuts and I had never done them before, but they did feel like awesome. Like after you did them, you're like, oh, yeah. So yeah, Bryan Johnson, maybe I do have a problem with your workout routine. Maybe I don't. Also, I don't have a problem with Bryan Johnson at all. I just think it's kind of strange wanting to like live to 130. I don't know. I don't think you need to. Like, I think just let life happen and let your body tell you when it's time to go. My nutty porridge is moving around in my belly. That's a sentence I never thought I would ever say in my entire life. Okay, so there was a few things that I couldn't do.
because I didn't have the equipment or the right stuff, like the ones where you put a weight on your foot and then like rotate it. I couldn't do that. I really wanted to, trust me, but I couldn't. So that means that I am done his workout routine, and to be honest, that was really good. It was exhausting because it was just so fast paced and there was a lot of stuff in a very small amount of time, but it was really good. But after this, he does something pretty weird.
All right, there we go. Got everything. And then we'll do the upper right side of the buttocks. No blood.
Who did a what now? So he literally takes a needle and puts it in his ass. I don't know specifically what for. I think he said in the video, but I couldn't be bothered rewatching it, so I'm just gonna say that that's a bit strange. To be honest, I think I'm just gonna skip over this part of the morning routine. I just wanted to point it out because I thought it was quite weird. But the next thing is something I can actually do. So let's go. I finally remembered to do it. So if you're wondering why I'm standing in ominous red light, and let's be honest, you're probably not at this point. Bryan Johnson does his 6 to 8 minutes of red light therapy right after his workout. So I'm pretty sure this consists of him standing naked, butt and balls out in the red light. I think he says this is good for the healing. It helps your body heal faster, apparently. I don't know. He's probably right.
My name is Bryan Johnson. I am the world's most measured human. Most people don't understand why I do the things that I do, eat the things that I eat, and take the pills that I take. I don't expect them to. My motto is don't die. Thanks to my son's blood, I have the body and penis of an 18-year-old, and I've never felt better. At least that's what the prostitutes say. Once the world burns and the sky falls down, the last living organism on Earth will be me, a man, and a man by the name of Bryan Johnson!
Well, that sounds like a mentally healthy human being. After I had finished my red light therapy, which is what I did instead of therapy, it was creeping up on lunchtime, so that means it is time for my lunch. I have just made what Bryan Johnson calls a super veggie. I added some peanut butter because I'm weird, but there's also carrots, broccoli, you're supposed to add cauliflower, we didn't have any cauliflower, or ginger, didn't have any ginger, which also seems kind of weird to add. Now, to be honest, this does not look bad at all. This actually might be good for once, because that nutty pudding, that was something else. Oh. Without further ado, let's dig in. Yeah! I really needed that. It's so nice. And with that, I will finish this off, and I actually will finish this off. I'm not just gonna not eat it. And that concludes Bryan Johnson's morning routine. Thank fucking God. Out of 5 stars, Bryan Johnson's meticulous morning routine gets 2.5 out of 5 stars. Mine is 3.5 for that nutty pudding. Oh.
It's 3:53 in the morning. I am 1 minute past my final morning routine. This one's a bit prolific. It's the Ashton Hall morning routine. Ashton Hall is a fitness coach whose morning routine recently blew up with having over 700 million views. It gained notoriety because of how stupid and how much of a waste of time this morning routine is, among many other reasons. So I thought it was perfect
and I had to do it. After using the very last of my motivation from the week to get up at 3:30 in the morning, Ashton, he brushes his teeth and then he drinks bottled water. Yeah, Ashton is known for only drinking the highest quality Saratoga water, which is just water in a bottle. But real men must only drink water from a bottle, apparently. So I decided to make my own brand of bottled water for real men only, and that goes by the name Sigma Water. It was delicious and definitely doesn't have a foul aftertaste of red wine. Then at 4 in the morning, I walked outside to do some push-ups. This routine is very fast-paced, so I had to make sure that I was staying on time with Ashton's routine, otherwise I would explode. So after totally doing push-ups for 13 minutes, Ashton does something very different, and that is... Hey, if you got it, you gotta flaunt it. After my high-intensity twerking session, I meditated, or I think that's what Ashton did, and then came back inside at 4:23.
It's now 4:23, and I've got to do a bit of whatever he does in that video. He kind of just closes his eyes and I think he meditates.
After meditating outside, Ashton likes to even the scales by meditating inside, which is a genius alpha move. In this video, he kind of just grabs a book and doesn't read it, which is very necessary for his morning routine. So you know I did the same. Then at 4:40, Ashton journals. So I went to open my journal and the unthinkable happened. A goddamn spider came out of my journal, which is such an invasion of privacy, and I will be in contact with my lawyers. So then I started getting into some creative writing, and I kind of got very deep into it.
I decide to wake up at 3:52 a.m. not because I'm completely insane in the head and haven't been the same since Carla left, but because I find it brings me the most joy and contributes to making me the 1%. I am a Sigma male, and to adhere to this, I must wake up at this time and do my morning routine in this exact order every single day, with no breaks whatsoever. I am the only. I am the alpha.
Moving on to 4:55, Ashton decides to watch some very serious videos about being very serious with the Lord's business, and I decided to, opt out for that since I'm not a Christian, and instead put on some alpha affirmations. I swear to God I went to school.
I manifest my supreme self, my best self, my highest potentiality. I actualize my genetic superior.
Before I even knew it, it was 5:46 and it was about damn time to do the Ashton Hall classic. This is like a staple of the Ashton Hall morning routine, which he does a lot throughout his day, and it's putting your face, submerging it in ice cold water, which honestly, I don't know why he does it. I think it's to wake you up and keep you going and motivated, but it just is a huge waste of water.
It is 5:55, and now it's time for me to actually do something. It is time to go to the gym. So back I went to the gym for another hardcore workout session, and dude, this one was rough. I'd already been like 3 or 4 other times this week to the gym, and these workouts were starting to tire me out. But nonetheless, I had completed my workout and made it back home. Okay, so I just got back from the gym, and to be honest with you, it is a bit later on the day. It's 8:04, which means I am behind on the morning routine. Ashton Hall, if you're watching this, please let me live. I have so much I want to do, so many ice baths I want to take. But to be honest, I actually feel pretty good. This morning routine is a bit nuts, but so far, like, I am actually doing all right, especially compared to the Rock's morning routine. That was absolutely dreadful, at least for me. But this next task involves me going to the pools, which I don't really want to do, and since we have a bath at home, thought I might as well do that. Did I hear that correctly? Did he just say bath time? Then after a rejuvenating bath, Ashton has a shower, which is just another large waste of H2O. I have just looked at the list and what the next task is, and it's to rub a banana on my face. Hold it together. But the problem is, we're out of bananas! And what's even worse is that it's Good Friday, which means all the stores are closed. Except the gym. So that means you just got clickbaited. Depending on which thumbnail YouTube chooses for the video. But goddamn, I was so excited about that. When I actually did the thumbnail, I did rub it on my face, and there's a few photos of that, which I'll put on screen. But since it is 8:46, it means that I'm actually on time with the video, just like 3 minutes late. So apparently he rubs a banana on his face from 8:43 till 9:05. Which is wild. But now I was back on track with Ashton's morning routine, and believe it or not, you're never gonna guess this one, but this next task involves water. Then it was 9:15, and finally time to do some hard work.
Yeah, but it was like 10,000.
Bro, how many pugs did you just tell me you just smuggled across the US border just now?
10,000.
At least 10,000?
At least 10,000, yeah.
Looking at it, bro. We're gonna need at least 10,000 cages for these pugs. Exhausting just thinking about it. And then it was finally time to eat some goddamn food. Thank you. So with that, I think I'm free!